落ちた強豪飛べないカラス
What's up, YouTube? It's Blackwing here. Today I'm gonna teach you how you can beat Snake Eyes with your Blackwing deck, no matter you're playing on Master Duel or on the TCG. So first game, my opponent is going first, and obviously he has the Wanted and the Ability Star, and he gets to his Snake Eye Ash that way really easily. Unfortunately, we didn't draw any hand traps, so we just have to gonna sit and watch our opponent play here. Obviously, if you would go one. First off, if you haven't played against this deck so much before, the Snake Eye Ash is something you want to try to negate. So if you have Infinite Impermanence, Effect Veiler or something, just try to play it on this card. But yeah, so if you're gonna go first with Blackwings against this deck, two Blackwings Astral Dragons are actually really great because this deck plays a lot of monster effects, and I think that is kind of similar in any tier 1 tier 0 format, because for example in Tier Elements, you know, two Blackwing Astral Dragons were just really great. You know, they play instant fusion, they take 1000, and then you know you have two Blackwing Astral Dragons, and they just take so many times 1400. So it's a little bit the same with this deck, that you can burn them super easily to death. But yeah, anyway. Okay, so the Flamebird Dragon is coming to the board. The IP Masquerena. And then the Promethean Princess. This card is also something to keep in mind. So basically it says that if a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field while this card is in the graveyard, you can target one fire monster you control and one monster your opponent controls, destroy them, and if you do special summon this card. So this is one interruption in the graveyard that is really important to remember. Alright. And 6 card Ash. Got to love that. And he does a lot of things in the standby phase or draw phase. Okay, so here actually before I activated the Simoon, I want to a little bit tell you about my thought process here. Okay, so I know that this deck can go really easily to Appaloosa, and this is probably what he wants to do because he has the IP Masquerena on the board. So if I would have activated my Black Whirlwind straight up here and kind of give him the priority to respond and do stuff, I would have let him to do an Appaloosa, and if my Simoon gets negated by an Appaloosa, I'm pretty much, you know, up for a really hard game. So that's why I actually activated Simoon straight off and actually missing like one Black Whirlwind Surge in a way, because this Steam doesn't make kind of like anything in this hand if he can get to an Appaloosa before I activate Simoon. So yeah. So now we got our Simoon and we're gonna get our Black Whirlwind Surge. And obviously we have the one Black Whirlwind still in our hand, which is not that great. But yeah, this was the best way to play it with player's priority, or turn player's priority. And then he activates IP, going into Appaloosa. And we're just gonna use Ash on his Ash, and he lets it go through and does not mind playing Appaloosa. Or he does mind to play Appaloosa because he didn't activate it. But yeah, so now the game looks like this, and what we still need to remember is the Promethean Princess in the graveyard, and obviously he has an Appaloosa, and we have 4 cards in the hand. Activating Black Whirlwind here, finally, and getting, you know, the Chain Link trees here. Going forward, one of them gets negated, which is fine. So we're getting 2 searches, we're getting Vada, and then we're getting Chinook. And at this point, it's not important to prioritize Shamal at any way or in any way, because if you just activate it, they're just gonna activate Appaloosa and negate it for sure. So yeah. Then we're special summoning Shagna, and this is the first time I actually special summon, and our opponent is using the Promethean Princess immediately. Then I summon Gale and activate effect, and obviously target Appaloosa, because if Gale's effect goes true, basically it eats 2 negations if it halves the attack of Appaloosa, so that's kind of a good deal. Our opponent has infinite impermanence to negate that. So yep. Obviously our kind of opponent doesn't want to activate Appaloosa, because if he does, you know, it gets a lot smaller, and then he's probably afraid that I can just do something easily and attack over it. So I think that was the reason why he activated infinite impermanence here. Activating Vara here, and now he has to activate the Appaloosa here to make it smaller. Which is fine. Then here is the first MVP card against this deck. Draco Berserker, and first of all, obviously that it gains attack and it can attack again is super good, but also the first effect. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish it. It doesn't matter if it's from the hand, if it's from the grave, you know, from anywhere you can just straight up banish it. So that's really great, because a lot of the Snake Eye players usually have that one Link Karibo in the graveyard, and then, you know, it says you can tribute one level 1 monster, special summon this card. So basically what they're trying to do, you know, you think you have game, and then they just, you know, tribute their freaking Ash and special summon the Link Karibo, and then, you know, you don't have game anymore. But, you know, if they do that, Draco Berserker, you can just banish the Link Karibo and it will never hit the field. So yeah, and obviously Draco Berserker is just an insane OTK enabler. Here we're activating Sudri's effect to get the level 2 token, and here you can also see I'm not even bothered to go into Kali Yuga or something like that. Those plays, like even Links, I'm just going full synchro. But yeah, here I'm chaining Chinook because I have a synchro monster, I can do that, and then Appaloosa's attack goes to 0. And here I sent the Blackwings Dragon to the graveyard because Sudri and the level 2 tuner can make a Boreal Storm easily. And now we have already a Blackwings Assault Dragon alive. And here I'm thinking like what to send with this card to the graveyard. We already have Steam banished, and we have Shogun in the graveyard, so the only card that really gives us value is obviously Cerberus. So we're sending that. Getting that, and then we are just destroying the field spell. Boreal Savage Dragon here, just for the attack boost. Blackwings Dragon, and then we can go for battle, attacking over here, getting the effect to attack again. And here our opponent is kind of forced to destroy the Blackwings Assault Dragon, because if he doesn't, he just gonna take so much damage. But this way also he just loses. So yeah, this is the first replay. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you learned something from it. And let's go to the next replay. Alright guys, so the next replay, we just had the coin toss, and I actually won the coin toss, but my hand looked like this. Not a great hand, right? In this hand I already know what is the best field to make with this hand, and it's obviously not that great. But anyways, so we just go for Steam and Vara, and our opponent plays Maxi here. We obviously have the Ash Blossom to negate that, so that is kind of nice. And one thing that you want to do from here is go to Vice Tricks, but you can also try to play Vara's effect and see if your opponent has an effect negation. Maybe they have, and you know, try to negate that with like an effect veiler, but that's something you don't want to happen actually. But yeah, so here you're getting a Steam token effect and Vice Tricks. Vice Tricks is obviously summoning you Teperos for follow-up on next turn, and then Steam is playing effect. Here we're making Raikiri. Boreal Savage Dragon once again, and this time Boreal Savage Dragon also has a friend in the graveyard. So we're getting Vice Tricks there, and we're ending on this board. Not an insane board, that's true, but we have the Sephiroth for follow-up, we have Maxi, and we have Infinite Impermanence, so we have quite a good board here. And obviously at this point I didn't even know what I played against, and I'm just shotgunning the Maxi straight away before main phase because of triple tactic talents. Then, okay, I play against Snake Eyes, and I know here, obviously, that I want the Infinite Impermanence this straight away, because let's say your opponent has crossed out the Signature or something, you know, I can then just Borreload Savage Ring negate that, or let's say my opponent has Kirin, I can just Borreload Savage Ring negate that. So I decided to play Infinite Impermanence on this card, and if my opponent is not paying attention, maybe he plays a spell or trap card on the column here. Alright, so it gets negated. He goes straight into Link Karibo. I get to draw a card from Maxi, and he passes. So he think I won't be able to win him with this, but let me show you how it's done. So we activate Small World, showing Garbage Lord, and getting Sadri to our hand. Activating Sadri here, getting Shamal to our hand, activating Shamal, getting Black Feather Whirlwind, and activating Sadri's effect to pop the token. And remember, at all times we still have Sephiroth in the graveyard. Here our opponent is activating Maxi, but obviously we have the Borreload Savage Dragon to negate that Maxi with, which is really great. Now the only thing that we really have to be scared of is Nibiru, pretty much. So, in other words, we want to keep the Sephiroth in the graveyard as long as possible and try to go for a Blackwings Assault Dragon play. So we're special summoning Boreastrom here and activating Shamal. Shamal is getting us the Vada back that we special summoned on the first turn. Taking some damage here, sending Shagna to the graveyard, activating Vada's effect here, sending Sadri and Chinook, and then just activating the Black Feather Whirlwind. And this is already over 8000, and here we can just activate Riger's effect, destroy the Link Karibo, and yeah, it's game. If he would drop Nibiru here, you know, we could still just bounce the Black Feather Whirlwind with our Sephiroth here, and after that activate Black Feather Whirlwind again, make the Blackwings Assault Dragon, and you know, we will have, I think, over 8000 still on the board. And our opponent's coops, just like that. So this just shows you, even though your hand might be a little bit poor at sometimes, you know, you might still end up winning if you play your cards correct. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something new, and if you want to see exclusive content, member-only videos, you can become a member from the link in the description down below. Thank you for everybody who has been a member, and you are the ones that actually get me into the events, to nationals, you know, to YCSs and stuff like that. I actually just bought the plane tickets and accommodation to the European Championships because I've already gotten my invite there. So thank you for all of you members, you are the MVPs. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'm out.
それでも一人じゃなくなったあいつは強いよ。